Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I got for you guys 10 different fragrances that you don't even have to think about. No brainers. These are foolproof. You can wear them anywhere. Turn that brain off and throw away the key. You don't need it anyway. What good did thinking about things ever do anyway? Snap decisions. All you need. That's bad advice. All of these are going to be linked in the description. Let's just get started right away. Let's dig in and explore. I just knocked over like every one of those bottles, but they're okay. Mont Blanc Explorer. Everybody knows this one. It's an alternative to Creed's Ventus, and it's really affordable from discounters. You can wear this pretty much anywhere, anytime. Daytime, evening, doesn't matter. Any season, doesn't matter. Nice compliment puller, fresh, spicy, modern off the top, a little bit of sweetness from some fruit. Nice citrusy pop that emulates a little bit that pineapple opening that you find in a Ventus. Quality on this one is pretty nice as well. All things considered, what you can pick this up for at discounters, it smells great. It's just one of those consistent fragrances that everybody needs to have in their collection. Something like this, something that you can wear in any season, daytime or evening, that has pretty good performance, not overwhelming to the point that it's gonna cause people to choke, but good enough that it'll last through the day. That pulls compliments that, again, you just don't have to think about. And Explorer was one of the first things that came to my mind. And before I hop to the next fragrance, here are some codes you can use to save yourself some cash across a bunch of different websites. The JOMASHOP codes only work in the app, and Max Aroma has new codes, so be aware of those. And then some of the other better ones are gonna be the Perfume Box, Twisted Lily, and of course Frag Flex, among others. Oh, and if you guys are on TikTok, follow me there, at Gents. I got random stuff on there that I don't have here. It's a great selling point. The next fragrance I want to talk to you guys about is L'Homme Le Parfum from Yves Saint Laurent. Now this has always been a fragrance that's to an extent flown under the radar. When it first came out, I wasn't really super hyped about it because it does have some similarities to other things out there. But at the end of the day, if you kind of strip away that portion of the fragrance and you just go to, well, does it smell good? The answer is yes. Do other people like it? You know, is it people pleasing, a potential compliment puller? Yes. And does it have great versatility? Can you use it about whenever you want? Yes. So when you strip away some of the other facets of this fragrance and what you're left with is people like it, it smells good, and you can wear it whenever you want, you start to go, oh, that sounds pretty good actually. So how does it smell and what does it remind me of, and other people as well? Well, similarly to why Eau de Parfum and also YSL L'Homme. So it's kind of like you put those in a blender and mixed it up a bit, you get something sort of like this, which makes sense really when you think about it, because basically Yves Saint Laurent was like, what if we took, you know, two of our biggest fragrances and just combined them? So you have a great mixture of fresh and sweet here. Like I said, a big compliment puller, you can wear it whenever you want. The only real drawback to this one is the performance. It's not amazing. Now it's not awful, but it's not amazing. It's not as good as Eau de Parfum, but it is kind of on par with L'Homme. So, you know, I guess it got that from that parent. Got the performance from the one parent, not the other. Overlooked and underutilized. The next one's super popular, everybody knows this, but it works. Dylan Blue from Versace. Great price from discounters, great bang for your buck. I think that this is probably the #1 bang for buck blue fragrance if you're looking at all the major fragrance houses and their blue scents. So I'm talking about K from Dolce & Gabbana, Sauvage from Dior, Bleu de Chanel from Chanel, Y from Yves Saint Laurent. Kind of lump this in with those, and I think that it's just the best bang for your buck, because from discounters, it's not that much, and from retailers, you know, at full retail, it's also less than those other ones. At least I think it is. Pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure. But who cares? You guys are shopping at discounters anyway. So yeah, you get to pinch a few pennies here, that's always nice, and then the fragrance itself is good quality, and you can use it all year. Because yes, it's got those fresh aspects, but then it also has some deeper aspects as well. It's got a nice incense note in there, gives it a touch of smokiness. You've got some sweetness that lingers throughout that's not overwhelming, woodiness in there as well that gives it nice staying power. and a citrusy opening that grabs people's attention right away. And the bottle looks nice. Mine looks a little comically large because I got a good deal on it. I've done that a number of times where I've gone to purchase a fragrance and they'll have like a 200 ml size bottle or a 150 ml size bottle or something like that. And the store will have it for like $10 more than the 100 ml. And I'm like, well, I gotta get it then. And then I end up with something like this and I just go, I'm never gonna use that in my entire life. But I got a great deal. All right, guys, buckle in for some shameless self-promotion. West Loop, which is one of my fragrances. It's also over there. Do you see it? So like I said, this is one of my fragrances that I creatively directed underneath the Michael Malul brand, Michael Malul X Gents Scents. And also, if you look behind me back there, you will see dozens of submissions. That's what all these are. And that's where I'm working on 2 new fragrances that are not gonna be out for a while, but they're in the works. Now, West Loop, to be fair, is more of like a spring, fall, winter fragrance. I wouldn't wear this during the summer unless you were going somewhere air conditioned or you were going somewhere that's not, you know, crazy hot and humid, because this is a sweet fragrance. It's sweet, it's made to be sweet. Like that was part of the idea here. I'll hit you with some of the notes in the fragrance. So off the top, almond blossom, toasted cinnamon, and vanilla orchid. Then in the mid, there's tobacco leaf and myrrh along with lavender. And then in the base, there's some amberwood, tonka, and patchouli. It's got a little bit of a different DNA to it. It doesn't smell super close to anything else out there. And this is one of those ones that just in the air is absolutely a magnet. People are drawn to it, huge compliment puller. And truthfully, when I first got this in, the first submission, I didn't really like it. And then I let it sit for a little bit, went back to it, and I wore it, and just the whiffs that I was catching throughout the day, I fell in love with it. So it was one of those things where I made a snap decision the first time I smelled it up close, and I went, nah, no thank you. Then when I let it sit there for a week or two, which to be fair, when you get in a submission, it's a little rough around the edges at first because those oils have not really macerated at all. They legit compound and send it to you same day. But after I let it sit and I got those whiffs in the air when I was wearing it, I was like, this stuff is magic, and the reactions I got were amazing. Kept going back to it and going back to it and going back to it. And I have worn this stuff out. I know this bottle looks like I haven't. That's because I got a lot of bottles of it. This is like a showpiece bottle. The one that I've actually used is like down here. But yeah, West Loop, this is my own fragrance. So again, I'm obviously biased, but you can find that in every Perfumania, every fragrance outlet store in the entire country in the US. And you can also find it at Michael Malul's website, which is linked below, code GENTSCENTS. Oh, and look, here's the box. I want to throw it back a little bit right now with Low DC from Issey Miyake. Now I know some people are gonna look at that and be like, man, Low DC, what are you talking about? Nobody wears Low DC anymore. Low DC still works. I don't care what you say. And Issey Miyake, come on guys. They're a brand, I'll tell you that. They're a brand. They will come out with fragrances sometimes that will blow your socks off, just absolutely melt your mind. You'll smell it and be like, that is a designer fragrance? That is amazing. And it's in stock for all of like 2 weeks, and then you will never see it again. It is the most maddening thing ever, and Issey Miyake has that down to a science. They're like, yo dog, we spent all this time and money making this fire fragrance. It's so good, it is insane. We're gonna make like 1,000 bottles. That's it. That's it. People are gonna want it. There's gonna be huge demand. And you know what we're gonna do? We're just not gonna make any. And somebody's like, wait a sec, that sounds like a terrible idea. We're gonna lose money. Like, who said that? Who said that? Was Fredrickson? You're fired. Get out of here. You don't understand how we do it in Issey, okay? This is how we roll, son. So that happens a lot, and then they'll come out with fragrances that are okay, you know, and they'll leave those out forever. You can just find them whenever you want. I guess we just expect it at this point. But Low DC, this is the OG. This is the one that you know, a lot of people are gonna associate Issey Miyake with. Yes, it came out decades ago at this point, which is kind of crazy to say, but like I said, still works. It's a woody fragrance with aquatic splashes, aromatics around the edge, and a pungent yuzu note off the top, which makes it quite unique, even more so when it first came out, but still to today. Performance is nice, quality is good, and the price is right also. And it's not as popular today as it was when it came out, which means less people wearing it, which means if you wear it, you're gonna stand out a little more. After that, a new fragrance, Myself Le Parfum. I like the matte look of the bottle. I think it looks pretty slick. And this one is quite similar to the original Myself, only a little bit darker. Nice bourbon vanilla added in there. It gives it a touch of sweetness, a little more warmth. Carries over that clean white floral aspect from the original to this one. And the original Myself is just absurd. You can wear that anywhere, anytime, any place, does not matter. And so that also carries over to here. I would say once again though, middle of summer, probably go with the OG over this one, but spring, fall, winter, you could go with this one just as easily. So basically you would just ask yourself, which style of Myself do I want? You know, do I want the one that has a little more body to it, more of that sweetness from the vanilla that's in there, or do I want to go with the OG and really focus in on those white florals? Can't go wrong with either one as far as versatility, compliment factor, and all that. But for me, I'm wearing the new one for right now. All right, after that, Gray Vetiver from Tom Ford. Big Tommy F. I love vetiver. I'm about it. I like that note. In pretty much any way you can give it to me, I'll take it. You want to give me a dirty vetiver? Sure, brother. I'm along for that ride. You want to give me a clean one? Yeah, sounds good. Smoky? Sure, why not? Grassy? Woody? Don't matter. I'll take it. But a lot of people out there, when they hear vetiver, some it gets a little queasy. They start second guessing their life choices. What have I done to get myself here where I'm thinking about wearing vetiver? That ain't me, but I know a lot of you out there hate the V. But this one's clean. This one's fresh. And I love the way it smells. There's like a little faint nuttiness to the Gray Vetiver as well, which I think really just elevates the fragrance. It's a perfect one for office wear, for more formal occasions. You can wear this during spring, summer, fall, winter, whenever you want. And for a bunch of people out there, Gray Vetiver does make a really nice introduction to vetiver-based fragrances. One of those deals where if they smell Gray Vetiver, you know it's much easier going than some of the other ones out there. They smell this one, and if they think to themselves, okay, cool, I can wear this, then good, jumping off point. But if you smell Gray Vetiver and you instantly go, oh, no, it's too much, that vetiver is just, you know, I can't do it, then you know right away, okay, cool, well, all these other vetiver fragrances, hold off on them for a while. Maybe revisit. Now let's go with another one that's overlooked. It is Run Wild from Davidoff. Now this is one that got no love when it first launched, none at all. And you can still find this at discounters, but not as easily as you used to be able to. As of this video, you can find it for like 30 bucks for a 50 mil. I think that's Fragrance Net has it at that price or something. And it will sometimes pop up at the other ones, JOMASHOP, Fragrance Buy, etc., etc. Used to be, you could find it for in the 20s, but like I said, it's gotten more difficult to find. So why did this get hated on so much? Well, you have to go back a little bit, not that long. In 2019, which, you know, 5 years ago, time goes pretty quick. But when this came out, there were a lot of fragrances that were coming out in a somewhat Invictus style. And so when it came out, people were immediately just like, we don't need another Invictus style fragrance. So, you know, up yours, goodbye. And while yes, it does have some of that bubblegummy sweetness that Invictus has, it's also different enough that it stands on its own. As you can tell by looking at the coloration there, it's a little bit more green. Fir resin is one of the notes in the fragrance, along with ginger and tonka, as well as a fresh lavender note as well. It has decent performance. It's not quite as bubblegummy as Invictus is, and it's a little bit more grown up with still having a playful side to it. I think it gets overlooked. I mean, it's one of those ones that, yes, if you're a huge fragrance aficionado, you'll smell it and be like, oh, another Invictus-y sweet fragrance, I hate it. But if you're looking for something that has nice appeal to it, that is a potential compliment puller that you can pick up on the cheap, that has nice performance, all things considered, it's worth owning. Now, I'm not saying it's anything hyper unique, of course, but if you're looking for something with year-round usability that has, like I said, that compliment factor to it, you could do a lot worse. Let's go to another one that does not get a ton of love. Jimmy Choo. Man. Now, this does smell a bit similar to Coach for Men. Coach for Men is very affordable, very popular, and so I want to shout that one out also. But Coach for Men gets talked about more often. I talk about it more often, and I wanted to give Jimmy Choo Man a little shine. Look at that atomizer. Coach doesn't have that. Now this one has pineapple, melon, pink pepper, suede, and lavender are some of the notes in the scent. And as I said, similar to Coach for Men, so you already know if you're familiar with that one that this is a blue fragrance. And blue fragrances are, frankly, made to be worn pretty much whenever. Fresh, clean, a little bit sweet, nice and classy as well. The only drawback to this one, really, when you consider the price point, is the performance. It's not great. The price point, about 30 bucks. So like I said, you get a lot for that. It's just that performance can kind of bring it down a little bit. Now you could try to counteract that by spraying more on, spraying it on your clothing, spraying it in your hair, reapplying throughout the day, or if you prefer a fragrance that maybe sits a little more subtly, that would work for you. And quality-wise, for 30 bucks, it's really good. And that 30 bucks is for a 100 ml size bottle. So again, it's a good bang for your buck. Let's finish it off with this one, Aaro Chrome Extreme. Chrome Extreme. This one smells a bit similarly to Acqua di Gio Profondo. But which Profondo? Because now there are three. The original Profondo. Not the new Parfum and not the new Profondo Eau de Parfum 2024. It's got green mandarin, juniper, cashmeran, and aquatic notes as some of the notes in the fragrance. So aquatic, fresh, sweet, and a little aromatic as well. Not too sweet either, just like a little smidge, a little dollop put in there. Dollop, that sounds like a lot. A sprinkle. For an aquatic fragrance, it actually lasts a pretty good amount of time. Projection is more moderate, but for the price, again, can't complain. And Chrome is a very interesting line to me because most of the time, once they hit discounters, pretty affordable. And you can go down the line of Chrome flankers and you just get all the tastes and flavors of the rainbow. In terms of quality, I mean. You'll smell one and be like, oh wow, how much is that? 25 bucks? Jeez, I'm gonna buy every Chrome ever. Let me smell this next one, yeah. It's this. Oh, they are different. So you can just go down the line and be like, amazing, really good. Oh my God, that's good. What happened to you? Chrome, you gotta love it. But when they do it well, they do it well, especially for those prices at discounters, and that one does it well. So there we go, guys. 10 different fragrances that are foolproof. You don't have to think about them. Spray them on and go. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you all later.